Okay, so for 151, really, the first part of it I think is fairly straightforward. We're going to do some vocabulary. I have a maxima. Technically, a maxima is where the graph changes from increasing to decreasing. But picture that for a second. If I go increasing uphill, decreasing downhill. If you go from up to down, see how that's the top of a mountain? Okay, so if you want a maxima, it's the top of the hill. Okay, for a minima, your graph is going to go from decreasing to increasing. So you go downhill and then change to uphill. Well, if you go downhill and change to uphill, it's the bottom of a valley, is another way to think of it. So if you just look at this graph, see how this is the bottom of a valley? Here's the top of a hill, and here's the bottom of a valley. So I have a maximum and a couple of minimums. These are local mins and maxes. Now you can have more than one. It's like, let's say that you have the best wrestler in Benton City. Well, they might be the top of this mountain right here, like you're the king of the hill. But then you go to Findlay and you have the best wrestler there. So you might have another king of the hill. So I could have the tops of several hills. Every one of those tops of hills is a local maximum. And every bottom of a valley, like I have 2 local minimums. Now the rest of it is just vocabulary, because when they say the values of H, or maybe values of F, or values of G, like F of X, G of X, the value is referring to the Y coordinate. Like if you plug in 2 into an equation, you get out 7. The value of the function at 2 is the number 7. It's the value is the Y coordinate. And when it says values at which, that's really saying what x's make it happen. So this wording right here is referring to an x. So when I first just go ahead and read through these, all local minimums. So far we're like, okay, we want the bottom of the valleys, all local minimums with values. I think I have something covered up there. Oh, sorry. All local minimum values of H, and values of H is the Y coordinate. So we have the bottom of the valleys, Y coordinates. So see how my Y coordinates here are -3 and -5. These are both minimums, and the values of H is the Y coordinate. So the answer is -3 and -5. Okay, this one says all values at which, that's referring to the x's that make it a minimum. Okay, so here's my minimums, but the x's are -2 and 4. Okay, so in both of these sets of numbers, they were both minimums, so they came from those 2 red dots. But the values of H are the Y coordinates, and the values at which, those are the X coordinates that made that happen. So -2 and 4. Okay, so doing that again, all local maximums, there's only one maximum here. Values of H, that's your Y coordinate. So the Y coordinate there is -1. All values at which means what x's make it a local maximum. So here's my maximum, and the x that makes it a maximum is the number 1. And so my answer is 1.